You know that feeling, right? You snag a product, maybe a gadget, something you need, and the price just seems, well, unbelievably good. You think,
Yeah.
yes, what a steal. But then maybe a few months later, that amazing deal starts to feel a bit like a trap.
Yeah, that initial low cost somehow morphs into something way more expensive. Hidden fees, frustrations.
Exactly. And it's a feeling I think many of us know pretty well.
It is, and that's precisely what we're diving into today, this whole idea of the false economy you find with budget products.
Okay.
So these aren't just, cheaper versions. They're often carefully engineered with this really low upfront price, deceptively low,
Right.
only to become maybe the most expensive option down the road because of all these hidden costs and, frankly, deliberate design choices meant to frustrate you.
So our mission today really is to pull back the curtain on these hidden costs. We want to give you the insights to hopefully spot and maybe avoid these traps.
Good plan.
Like take Rahul. He bought this sleek-looking inkjet printer, right? Just $49.99.
Sounds like a bargain.
Totally. But 6 months later, he'd already spent over $180 just on ink.
Wow.
Yeah, bringing his total spend to over $230 for that budget printer. And I bet, many of us have our own version of Rahul's printer story maybe gathering dust somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. And Rahul's printer is just such a classic example of the razor and blades business model.
Okay, explain that.
So the printer itself, the $49.99 device, that's the razor, it's sold basically at cost, maybe even at a loss for the company.
Right. Get it in the door.
Exactly. The real profit is in the blades, those tiny little starter ink cartridges it comes with, and then the replacements, which cost, what, $35 each?
Ugh. And wasn't there something about the colors, too?
Yeah, that's the really frustrating part. If just one color ran low, his printer made him replace the entire tricolor cartridge. So the company profits from the refills, definitely not the machine itself.
So it's not just about constantly buying supplies. It's like the core product itself might be designed to be unsatisfying. Is that fair?
Absolutely, yes. Look at the Budget Book laptop series. An investigation found that their $399 entry-level model and the $799 mid-tier one, they often had almost identical hardware costs inside.
Get out.
Yeah, but the limitations on the cheaper one, they were deliberately put there through software restrictions.
Like what?
Things like soldering the RAM to the motherboard so you can't upgrade, software limiting how the battery charges so its capacity degrades faster, making thermal throttling kick in sooner.
Wow.
They literally spent resources engineering dissatisfaction into the budget model.
That feels almost predatory, especially when you think about support. Like Sandra, a small business owner we heard about,
Okay.
her budget point of sale system went down during her busiest weekend, of course.
Oh, no.
And phone support, that was a $129 premium charge. Her only free option was waiting up to 72 hours for an email reply.
72 hours while her business is bleeding money.
Right. She was losing about $1,500 in sales each day. Yeah. The company basically engineered this crisis point to force her into paying for premium service or maybe even a whole system upgrade.
It really shows how they can leverage your urgent need against you. And it's not just single products. Sometimes it's the whole ecosystem, right?
Yeah, like smart homes. The Gonzalez family, they invested about $450 initially in various budget smart home gadgets. Seemed reasonable.
Okay, starting setup costs.
But within the first year, they shelled out an additional $535 plus.
Whoa, for what?
Subscriptions, mostly. Annual fees for Smart Alerts, Energy Plus, Cloud Storage, Automation Plus.
Yeah.
Plus, they had to buy upgrades like a new hub, more motion sensors.
So the initial low price just hooked them in.
Completely. And beyond the, huge hidden financial cost, think about the time, the frustration, constantly troubleshooting this stuff.
Yeah, that's a cost too. So why do we fall for it? What's the psychology here?
Well, a lot of it is just how our brains work, it seems. There's this thing called hyperbolic discounting. We tend to really overvalue immediate rewards, like saving money right now compared to future benefits, like long-term reliability.
The instant gratification trap.
Exactly. And then there's the sunk cost fallacy. Once you've bought the cheap printer, you keep buying the expensive ink because you've already invested in the printer. You don't want to admit defeat.
Right, you feel like you have to make it work even if it's costing you more. Pouring good money after bad.
Mm-hmm. And maybe a bit of optimism bias, too. Thinking we'll be the ones who don't run into the problems others complain about online.
Yeah, it won't happen to me. From the company side, though, this strategy used to seem smart, right? Lower costs to get a customer.
It did. But it's kind of paradoxical now. What once maybe built loyalty through the ecosystem, now just destroys it. Research shows something like 86% of people who feel deceived just stop doing business with that company.
And they tell people 88% share those negative experiences.
Right. In today's world with online reviews everywhere, these artificial limits get exposed really fast. It ends up costing companies more to get new customers.
Plus, you've got regulators and lawsuits starting to target these dark patterns and deceptive practices more often.
And the sustainability angle too, right? All this planned obsolescence is just incredibly wasteful. It hits a company's ESG rating, their environmental, social governance standing. Harder to attract talent too.
Definitely. So the smart companies, the forward-thinking ones, they're moving away from this. They're building more sustainable models.
Like how? What's the alternative?
Well, honest value segmentation, where the different product tiers actually reflect real added features or better quality materials, not just artificial limits. Think Toyota building reliability into all its cars, or IKEA using different material grades.
Okay, so you pay more, you genuinely get more.
Exactly. And it shifts the focus. Instead of locking people in through frustration, you make them want to upgrade because the next level offers genuine innovation or better features they actually desire, like Patagonia's quality or Microsoft Surface offering full functionality even on lower tiers.
So it's about creating upgrade desire, not upgrade necessity born out of frustration.
Precisely. The real competitive edge now goes to companies that actually respect the customer and prioritize genuine value, even at the entry-level price point.
Because if you feel respected, even when you buy the basic version,
You're much more likely to stick with that brand and maybe upgrade later on your own terms because you appreciate the premium stuff, not because the cheap stuff was designed to fail you.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? I think the core message is pretty clear. The cheapest option. It's very rarely the most economical in the long run.
Yeah, that real price tag is often hidden. It only reveals itself after you've already made the purchase and you're kind of stuck.
So the takeaway is, be skeptical of those too good to be true prices.
Definitely. So the next time you see an unbelievably low price, maybe pause. What hidden costs are lurking there? What deal that you already own might you be reevaluating right now after hearing this deep dive?